You're listening to The Happy Podcast with your host, Ava Keenan.
And today's guest is Olympic gold medalist and the greatest of all time, Mikael Kingsbury.
Kingsbury, bit number 1. Competitor ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Happy Podcast. Today, we have Mikael Kingsbury. He's considered the greatest mogul skier of all time. He's the GOAT of the GOAT with a 60% win percentage, which is crazy. He has 150 podiums in World Cup. He has 3 Olympic medals, 2 silver, 1 gold, 24 Crystal Globes, 80 World Cup wins. This guy's freaking amazing. So, Mick, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for being on.
It's awesome.
Okay, so we're just gonna jump right into it in the basics. How did you start skiing?
How did I start skiing? My mom and dad were skiing, and they bought a cottage when I was very young on the ski slope, ski in, ski out, and I was just starting skiing, just for fun with the family, hitting the little jumps on the side of the slope, and that's how I started. Just a family thing that became more serious later. But it started just for fun.
Mm-hmm. And how did you get into mogul skiing? Was that just for fun too? And you're just like, oh, I guess I'll just try it, or?
Yeah, well, mogul skiing, I was actually when I was about 7 years old, I was skiing in Mont Saint-Sauveur, which is the mountain where I grew up. And I was doing a thing in French called pré-compétition, which I do ski racing in the morning and freestyle in the afternoon, and doing a lot of moguls and hitting jumps. And I always had more fun hitting the jumps, and I was kind of, natural in the air. And that year I asked my parents if I could join the mogul ski team, because it looked a lot of fun from the outside, and I thought the guys were cool. So the next year after, when I was 8 years old, I joined my first year on the mogul club. I was the youngest guy at 8 years old back then in my team, and it just started from there. I had a lot of fun, and starting to have, I was not the best at first, but obviously I was 8 years old. But then gradually I started having more fun, and get better. And at 11 years old, 10, 11, I watched the Salt Lake City Olympic in 2002. And this is where kind of the dream started for mogul skiing to, go to the Olympics and etc.
Mm-hmm. Now, when that dream started in your head, did you think that you would be anywhere close to where you are today?
No, not at all. But I always, one thing that I'm happy that I did is I always believe in myself, and I've set myself some pretty big goals from day one. I remember after watching the Olympics, actually in 2010, I went on my good old computer at my family house, and I printed the Olympic rings, and I wrote on it, "I will win." And I put it above my bed, so every time in the morning I was waking up to that, or going to bed, and it was making me have a goal in life. And I know I was very far, and it was gonna be very hard to reach that goal. But I always believe in myself from that day. And yeah, it's pretty funny. It's still at my parents' place. It's still above the roof.
I have the same thing above my bed. Mine has like 2030 Olympics on it. And at the bottom, I have like a gold medal down there. And
Nice.
And then I also put my goals up there on my bed too. So every night before I go to bed, I read out my goals, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get that this year.
Yeah. And what about how old are you right now? Exactly.
13.
13. So if we take 3 years, will 2026 we be an option for you, or it's still pretty close, huh? 16.
Probably not. I mean, if I could, that'd be amazing, but probably not because you can't even join the World Cup team until you're 15. So
Yeah.
tough.
Anything is possible.
Yeah, exactly. You're a great example of that. So when you were skiing and you're having a lot of fun and you started getting better, when did you realize that you had like a shot of getting on the team and going to all these World Cups and stuff? And when did you actually start to really believe that that was a reality?
Yeah, well, I was about 13, about your age, 13, 14 years old. I was doing like the Canadian Junior National Championship, and I was pretty good for my age. I was always, winning a lot in my group age, and I could beat the guys that were a bit older. So I knew I had, something special, and the coaches were telling me. Yeah, at that point, I was watching so much videos on. There used to be a website called skidabus.com, which they had all the top 3 rounds for the previous World Cup season, and I was watching that like every night. So I started to know every World Cup skier and became a huge fan. So I was going to the World Cup and trying to go in the chair with my favorite athletes, and I thought it was so cool. So it kind of set myself like, yeah, the goal to be one day there and ski World Cup. But yeah, I mean, I never really skipped steps. I've been very, when I realized that I could ski World Cup is actually when I started skiing NORAM. My first NORAM, I was 15, and everyone I was in the Quebec team. Everyone was telling me, "Yeah, you're gonna see in NORAMs the Americans. They're so strong, and it's gonna be tough to, just to make final." And I was 15. I was not going there to make finals, and
Yeah.
I just skied at my best, and I qualified third at my first NORAM at 15 years old. And I think first was Pat Deneen and one of the Disco brothers, and there was a few guys on the national team, Canadian national team, that were behind me, and U.S. ski team. So it kind of started like, okay, I can do this. I might be young, but I know I can do this. And that year, I just did the 2 NORAMs in Val Saint Côme in the old course, and then the year after, I finished first Canadian on the tour. I was sixth in the NORAM Tour ranking, I believe, in 2009. And yeah, from there I knew like, okay, World Cup is getting closer. When I knew I could ski every NORAM final, I could podium here and there. And yeah, kind of took my time, and my team really wanted, when I made the national team, they really wanted me to do like a full NORAM tour where I could win the whole tour. And in 2010 I won the whole tour, and then the World Cup came right after. At the end of the season, I could ski 3 World Cups after I won the NORAM tour. And yeah, from there I knew I was in my place, even though I was 17 when I started skiing World Cup. But I knew I was ready to be there and never be dropped down again.
Yeah. Now, how was your impression of the World Cup? Was you like super scared to go against these people, or were you just, feeling yourself? What was your impression of your first World Cup?
Yeah, well, for me it was like the big show. My first World Cup was in Calgary. It was super special because for me it's like, you get to the show, the big leagues, and there's camera everywhere. You're skiing against your idol. It's kind of intimidating at first, and I was just like watching the best skiers. I was like, oh my god, they're so good. And I didn't do so well my first World Cup, just because the fact, I think I was just too mesmerized with everything going around. And then this is when I went back to NORAM. I could just do one in Calgary. Then I went back to NORAM. This is when they told me win the NORAM tour, and then I went back to World Cup actually in Sweden, and I made finals both days and finished fourth in dual days. And then it's like from there I started to be like, I deserve to be here. I'm gonna do my own path, my own things, and everything's gonna work out at the end. So that was kind of like my early beginning before I start having success in World Cup.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, how many years was it until you went to your first Olympics?
So I made the national team when in May 2009. So it was just prior to the Vancouver Olympics. I didn't qualify to Vancouver Olympics because I had only one World Cup start to try to qualify. We all knew that there was no chance I could qualify. Um, but I had the opportunity to be a foreigner at the Olympic in Vancouver. So that kind of prepared me for the Sochi Olympics, which was a bit later in my career. And it was great because my first Olympic, I had to ski at least a good 4 years in the World Cup before I went to my first Olympic. So I kind of showed up at my first Olympic like a guy that's been there a lot. I won a lot. I had already won 4 Crystal Globe before I won my first Olympic Games. I skied my first Olympic game, won my first medal. So when I show up to my first Olympic, it was obviously like Disneyland and like the big thing because it was like a dream of mine just to be there. But I was actually ready. That year I won 3 World Cup prior to the Olympics, so I knew I had a good chance to win a medal. So I like good preparation also with the Vancouver Olympic being a foreigner. So it was like, um, my first Olympics were not like too early in my career, which helped me a lot for the next one after.
Mm-hmm. So, like, gave you a lot of preparation all those years before?
Yeah. I mean, I when I arrived to Sochi in 2014, I felt like I've done an Olympic because of 2010 since I was there live watching, knowing the athletes, knowing I was at the level to compete even in 2010 at the Olympics. I did a pretty good forerun. We had the scorecard. I think I would have finished in the top 5 at the Olympics with being a forerunner, which is pretty special. But when I showed up in Sochi, I was super nervous, but I was super ready, and I knew I had the chance to win gold. So this is the best feeling when you're fully prepared, even though if it's your first one, it can feel pretty big, the Olympics, but um, yeah, I was ready to take the pressure.
Yeah. And how old were you when you got second place at the Olympics?
I was 21 because I was 17 when I far ran Vancouver Olympics. So yeah, plus 4, 21 my first Olympics. Second one I was 25, and then 29 last year. Kind of
Yeah.
in Beijing.
Now, are you happy that you didn't do the 2010 Olympics, or did you think that was like reasonable, or would you have wanted to do the 2010 Olympics?
Looking back, I would have loved to do it because it's in your own country also, and it would have been a big boost to start my career. But at the same time, it was such a good learning experience, and not many athletes gets to experience the Olympic. As a non-athlete, but still ski the course, feel what's the vibe, and get the full-on kind of preparation for your. Like my first Olympic was kind of like my second. They were my first as an athlete, but second that I was there. So it did help me a lot, and that's a big reason why I was able to podium and handle the pressure of dropping last in the super final at the Olympics. And I made some tiny mistake from trying to push to try to beat Alex that won in 2014, but such a good experience, and that silver medal kind of lift me up to be able to win the gold 4 years later. So I wouldn't take back anything of my career, nothing.
Hmm. Did the Olympics meet your expectations, or like push way past your expectations?
Sochi was grandiose in the fact that Russia put so much money on it, and it was kind of where I believe it was going to be. It's at the Olympics you got to be ready. There's so many checkpoints, so many things here and there. You got to be ready to get thrown a curveball every time. And there's a lot more media. There's a lot more camera. There's a lot more people. You're gonna feel it at some point. I'm sure 100%. But you're gonna see like the media is gonna want to talk 6 months prior to the games gonna want to talk to you. Everyone is all of a sudden mogul skiing expert, and they feel like they know everything, and everyone is starting to be behind you. So it's super fun, but yeah, it does come with a lot of pressure when you're your Olympic potential of winning a medal. So it did meet my expectation. I mean, for sure, the Beijing one with COVID and everything was kind of different, but the Olympic are big, and yeah, it's always I always kind of like I put the bar there, and I always reach the bar, so it's awesome.
Did COVID like take away some of that pressure because there wasn't family and people physically there, or did it make it kind of harder to compete because your family wasn't?
It's like 50-50. I mean, I love having my family. I don't mind having friends and family at the bottom of the course. I still go, and they know I'm going to do my job, and I'm going to go see them after the race. But yeah, it felt kind of weird for the day of the qualification, because we kind of got used to it from the event prior to that, having no one at the bottom. But at the Olympics, just tons of journalists, no one. So it's kind of, I like skiing with crowds. It kind of pumped me up, and
Mhm.
brings the best out of me, because mogul skiing is a show, and you want to put the best run as you can, and you want to. It's always good to have a crowd and big music and everything. For me, it pumps me up. But yeah, it was kind of, you cross the line, you're at the Olympic, it's dead silence at the bottom, except your team kind of clapping. So it was kind of different, but yeah, at the same time, the pressure was the same. It was like, for me and personally, it was kind of a bit more smooth on the, I was less nerve wracking, because I was like, Mick, you've won it before. Um, just go out there and be smart, do your job. The course was pretty hard, and yeah, try to play the game that I wanted, stay clean, and it paid off, but not the way I wanted. But I'm pretty pleased to be the first man to ever win three medals at the Olympic in mogul skiing.
Mhm. Yeah, that's really amazing, and I'm always here cheering for you, Mick, even if I'm not there.
Thank you.
I'm always watching the TV, like, "Let's go! Come on, you
Yeah,
got this." I'm
I
always here.
appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah. And has there ever been a situation, like your first World Cup or your first Olympics, where the pressure was just, like, so much, or are you good with dealing with that?
If I'm good with handling the pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was always one of my strengths, starting as a kid, and even when I was playing a lot of baseball when I was a kid, and I was always better when you're in the last inning, it's tied, or you're trailing. There's 2 outs, and you're at the plate batting. I was always better in those moments, and yeah, I mean, my first few World Cups, yeah, I was someone that was super confident, and I knew I could do well. And back in the days when I started, I was kind of one of the only guy that was able of doing double full and 10. So I knew I had that in my back pocket. So that kind of brought me confidence that I was doing something different than anyone. Um, but yeah, and after 2014, I started working with a mental trainer, just for me to be more prepared, to be working more on my not only strategies, but my breathing, understanding what are my strengths, and just not because I was weak mentally, just to we go to the gym basically every day to work on our quads, on the core and upper body, and why not work my brain? And I decided to work hard on my brain, and understand what I was doing well, and having a little routine at the top that would make me super consistent. And this is at that moment, this is when I became super consistent. I was consistent in everything I was doing in life, so my skiing became so consistent, and I was able to put down a run, and never miss a super final, basically almost never missing a podium. From 2014 to 2018, I was super on it, on everything, and that carried through until the Olympics. So where was I going with that? But yeah, I yes, yeah, I never really got super nervous. I felt often the pressure of being the favorite, and but I never try to. I try to simplify the stuff, and when I'm at the top of the course, I usually have two things I think about, and I keep it simple, and I push, and the rest, I stay in the present moment.
Yeah, I could learn something from you because pressure always gets to me, and then I start to freak out. So I just gotta learn from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're in the starting gate and you said you have your like routine, right? Does that routine consist of you being like calm and like gathered? Or are you like hyped up and listening to like metal, or do you just like calm down?
Yeah. So if I listen to music, usually it's when I'm at the bottom of the course. So I'll do like kind of my inspection with music on. I'll be at the bottom of the course listening to music, but at the top of the course, where everyone gets a bit more nervous or whatever, I chat with my coach. Actually, we can chat about hockey, about anything. We know once I'm there, I've done the work, because I feel like if you want to win an event, it's not. Yes, obviously you have to ski well the day of the event, but you can prepare to put yourself in a position to win the days before. So for me, the 2 training days are the most important. I mean, sometimes the judges are watching. You get to do your run, to know your limits, know your strategy, do it a few times, and then sit down at the hotel with the coach, watch your videos. I always draw the course. I have a little book. I draw the course. I write the details of everything, like what do I have to do, think about in the top section, top air, where's the drift, where is my acceleration point, where do I decelerate, and I take all notes on a piece of paper, read it a few times, kind of like studying the course. And when I'm at the top of the course, then I just chat with my coach. I usually talk first. He never talks to me first, so I go to him and I explain what I'm gonna do. He knows that I'm gonna do, but I always go explain, like, okay, I'm gonna land the top air, stay low, absorb, stay forward, whatever. What are my keywords uh, about the tricks I'm doing, and then I stay super calm. I focus a lot on my breathing, and I do one or two like simulation of my run in my head with a bit of movement, whatever I'm doing. Then I stay pumped up with my coach. I super relaxed. I listen to the score. I watch a few guys, especially if there's a monitor, a little TV at the top. I kind of stay in touch with the event to make sure if anything changed. And then once I'm in the start gate, it's always the same routine. If I do a good qualification, I go back up for final one. I put my skis exactly where they were in qualification, redo the same kind of routine, my little warm up, go and push at the same time, kind of go on my poles, always breathe, refix my gloves, refix my goggles, make sure everything's okay. And then from there, I mean, I don't think. I try to, yeah,
Yeah.
just stay relaxed.
Looks like you got that routine on lock.
Yeah. It's kind of like, my little routine, but I can shift here and there, but like never nothing complicated. I sometimes have some chat with other athletes, like
Mhm.
chat a lot with either Magram, Ben Cavet, a lot of the guys. I can have like a good little chat at the top of the course. Nick Page, a lot of the US guys, and where the guys were all pretty close, so we always have a little chat at the top, and it's always good fun. I that's what I miss in the summer. The little butterflies you get in your stomach of competing.
Mhm.
I love competing, and this is what I miss the most. Especially when I'm gonna retire, this is what I'm gonna miss the most.
Yeah. Yeah. And after doing all this work, talking about this whole routine you got unlocked, doing all this homework on the courses, watching all these videos, going to the gym every day, having that whole gym set up in your house, like, are you are you at all disappointed about not winning more gold medals in the Olympics?
No, because it's like a process. I mean, my first silver was kind of like the process. First Olympic, you win a medal. It's unbelievable. 1-on-1, and then second Olympic, pressure in the world. Basically, I won 13 out of the 14 event prior to the game. So it felt like my goal to win, my goal to lose, and I was able to deliver in a pretty tough course. And a silver medal in Beijing, I did what I wanted. I think you could put maybe another judging panel. It would have been a different story, but you know, I'm super happy about what I've done. And I mean, Walter did an amazing run, probably more exciting, a more exciting run than me. He was faster. I think I was cleaner. Um, it depends. It was kind of a super tough race to read. I mean, um, the judges were rewarding a lot of the people that were staying clean, and I was super clean my first two runs, so I knew if I just push a tiny bit the speed with staying clean, it was going to score in the 80s, and it was pretty tough to score in the 80s at that event. But I think the problem there is the judges, they all put us in the same kind of boat, all the skiers in the super final, so a tiny mistake um, would have destroyed me because I didn't ski fast enough. But at the same time, if you were fast, you could do mistakes. So it's just super tough race to read. But yeah, super happy with my silver medal. But I wish it was gold. So I'm excited for in 3 years. We have two chances now. So I like my chances.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I mean, at least you have no regrets, you know? You did what you
No,
wanted to do, and I watched that whole Olympics. It was playing on our TV in our school, and
nice.
I got out of class, and I sat on the couch out there to watch it. And, I mean, I thought your skiing was, like, some of the cleanest there, you know? You're always super, consistent. You're always super consistent, and,
Yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah.
just
It's tough sometimes with the TV coverage because they film us from the side, so it's tough to see from the bottom. I like my run from the bottom. This is what I'm happy with. There was no bubbles at all, so it's maybe not fast enough at that event, but I thought it was enough. You know, for sure. If you tell me go back and do the run, I could have pushed a second and a half more. It would have been, totally doable to do it. But at that moment, I thought that was the run that I needed to win the gold. And at the same time, I was happy because I was like, oh, I did like 3 Olympics. I got 3 medals, so it felt pretty awesome to yeah to end up again with a medal. And,
Mhm.
but
And
no, now the eyes are only on gold. So
yeah.
next Olympic, I won't. If I'm in super final, I'm gonna do everything I can to be, in the super final. And once I'm there, I'm not holding back. And I'm leaving nothing on the table this time.
You're gonna be in that super final. Trust me, I know it. You're gonna be in that super final.
I appreciate it, but I'll do my best to be there. I
Uh-huh.
won't jinx it, but I like my chances.
How old will you be in that 2026 Olympics?
Old for a mogul skier. No, only 33.
33?
Yeah, but
No.
I'm still like I'm 20 years old. I'm in
Yeah.
good shape. No major injury in my career. I have a great team around me, great trainer, great mental trainer, great agent, uh, families behind me. I have great sponsors. So it's I like I said, I live the dream that I always wanted, and it's even better. I've performed better than I thought. So yeah, I know I can keep it going, and even after 2026, there's I could see myself still skiing, but we'll see from there. I'm not gonna push it too far.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you would be the first person in mogul skiing to go to 4 Olympics, right?
Ooh, I don't think so. I think some people did it. I mean, I think Aiko Yumura from Japan at least did 4 Olympics. Maybe Chloe Dufault-Lapointe did 4 because she did Vancouver, Sochi, Pyeongchang, and Beijing.
But
But
you
go for 5. For 5, maybe I would, but I would be 37 in 2030. So maybe as a coach, we'll
yeah.
see.
Yeah, and then, hopefully I would be able to be there, and then you'll be
You win.
yeah.
Watch you win. I'll watch you win, or maybe I will comment you win.
Thank you. Thank you. I can see you at the bottom, in the starting gate cheering you on again.
Yeah. Now it's gonna be when I see you at World Cups at the bottom, now it's gonna be like. But we might cross path. Hopefully, we'll cross path in World Cup. That would be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun. Then I'll say, "Oh my god, I did a podcast with that guy."
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. Now I was gonna ask a question, then I forgot. Oh yeah, I remember. So going back to like, I guess judges are. What are your thoughts on like? Obviously, it has to be a judge sport, but would you? How do you like feel on judge sports? Because I know I get frustrated sometimes, because it's not like skiing or not skiing. It's not like swimming where you just get touch that wall
Yes.
first. You
Yeah, it's not like only time that matters.
yeah.
Oh, that's what I like about the sport. Actually, sometimes it can be frustrating. Sometimes it's hard to understand. But I feel the judge in our sport, they do a very good job. I mean, they can stay pretty consistent. There's moments they're humans. They're gonna make mistakes, and um, it's part of the game. But I love the fact that our sport is there's time. There's a few stuff that that can make a difference. But I'm pretty happy the way it is. I wouldn't change anything. I would maybe change the way sometime we compete, like just the program of maybe being able to keep a score from final one to final two. But overall, I'm very happy with the judging.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, judging could be frustrating and also, at least for me, frustrating, but then sometimes I'll be like, "Oh, I really like that judge." And I'll be like looking
Yeah.
at the scorecard, and there'll be
But
one judge that like scores my turns like way higher than everybody else's. I want to meet that person. I like them. I like them a lot.
yeah, yeah, no, yeah. Sometimes I'm trying. I read my my scorecard or whatever the sheet of the results, and but I try to not pay too much attention about it because you can win a race at 80 points and you can win a race at 93 points. So to me, that I always try to do my best skiing and control what I can control, and the rest. And if I do that, then the rest of it is in the end of the judge, and hopefully they score me well all the time. But yeah, it's judge sport. Yeah, it's different.
For sure. Okay, so I'm gonna get to the good questions now, and ones that are really fun, I guess.
All right.
Now, you're considered the greatest mogul skier of all time, and just like the greatest GOAT of all time for like single sports. Like of all time. And what does that mean to you when you hear that? Like, what does that mean?
Hey, Ava, I'm sorry. You cut a bit, so I didn't understand part of your question. I'm super sorry.
No, it's all right. That was weird. It like went backstage for a second, but so you're considered the greatest mogul skier of all time, greatest GOAT of all time. Highest winning percentage, 60% winning percentage, which is crazy. And what does that mean to you when you hear that?
Uh, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's pretty special to be called like that. I mean, to me, just to see my name like on the list that you guys showed earlier in the podcast. Yeah, to see my name with Michael Jordan or whatever, Tiger Woods and Mikael I, and the people that I grew up, watching, and they're my idols. So yeah, for me it's a huge honor.
Mhm.
It's a privilege to have the chance to be recognized as one of the greatest sports people in the world.
Yeah. Now, this question is going to be hard to answer without sounding cocky, but do you believe that you are the GOAT of mogul skiing? Well, I mean, it kind of shows, but like, do you believe that you are?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I mean, my record are gonna be tough to beat, so I think so. I mean, if you divide my wins in two, I still am by 2 times almost the most winningest mogul skiing,
Oh my God.
mogul skier of all time. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I think so. My records are going to be very tough to beat. I think I've skied 128 finals in a row. I've won 13 World Cups in a row. 20 something podiums in a row. So I have some pretty fun record that I hope that, I think the record are meant to be broken. But if you look at the list, I think Edgar Gaupiron has the most win behind me at 28, I believe. So I believe I am. If you don't believe in yourself, you cannot reach that level of, winning as many.
So I'm sorry, just to get this straight. So you have 80 wins, and the guy behind you is 28.
Yeah.
Well, that's not good. Oh my gosh, that's so. If you divided it by 2 and then divided by that by 2, then so oh my gosh, that's crazy. That's actually insane.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But do you think that there's someone that can fill your shoes later on, or do you?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's anything is possible. Um, yeah, if I've done it, I think people can do it.
Mhm.
Yeah, hopefully someone will get close. I mean, obviously, I want my record, to hang there for a long time. But yeah, I know it's if someone wants to beat it, you gotta start skiing World Cup and start making more podium than not being on the podium once you're 18. And from 18 to 30 years old, you gotta at least win 7 World Cup a year to reach to at least 80. So it's a big task. It's tough. It takes a toll on your body, and you have to be present every race. You cannot have a off week or whatever. You have to be there. But this is what's great about mogul skiing is like every weekend it's going to be different. There's going to be a different strategy. The course are going to be different. You're going to go back to place every year. It's going to be kind of similar but totally different at the same time, and you got to stay sharp. There's no win I took for granted in my career. I worked hard for every single one of them, and here I am. And I just had a very great season that I'm very happy. But I'm pushing now at the gym. I have different goals. I want to be faster when I ski. So we're working towards that at the gym, and always, the motivation is still high up there, and my, I want to improve still every year. I feel like I want to age like fine wine. The more I get older, I want to get better.
Yeah, yeah. Well, letting you know, records aren't going to be there that long. I'm taking those. All right.
Perfect. Yeah. Like in French we say t'as du pain sur la planche. You have bread on your plate. But I believe in you. You can do it.
Thank you. So you talked about motivation after doing this for like 13 years now?
Yeah, 13.
Yeah. After doing this for 13 years, what is still your motivation to keep pushing hard? I mean, you've been to 3 Olympics, you've got 3 medals. I mean, most people just be like, all right, I'm out, but you're like, I want to go for 2 more Olympics. What is your motivation
Um, I mean, I like everything around the sport. I think it's just I like improving. I like competing. That's what I love the most. I love competing. I miss competing right now. Like I wish there was a competition next weekend, and I would do everything to be ready. I just like the preparation that comes with it. I like the lifestyle. Yeah, I wouldn't train my life for nothing. I mean, I lived a dream that as a kid I wanted to live, and it's above my expectations. And yeah, I want to keep growing, keep getting better, and this is super motivating and uh, super fun to have a lifestyle like that. To wake up and go to the gym, not go sit in an office. Go to the gym, go outside, uh, go skiing, trying to improve. Being in a sport where perfection doesn't exist. all these things combined makes me want to come back every year.
Yeah. So, like, sounds like obviously you do a ton of work to be the GOAT and then have that many wins, and the amount of work you do is extraordinary. And so has there ever been a time in your life where you got, like, burned out or you just needed to take a week off, or have you always just been like, go, go, go?
It's been a good go until like 20, until COVID hit. I took a good break, and I realized that taking a break is actually good for me. I always like taking a break, and I've been always a guy with a very good balance in my life. But after the Olympic last year, I took at least a good 2 to 3 months off, and that felt very good. And even this year, I mean, I skied last week here back home because we still have a mogul course, tiny line of mogul open. So I just went to ski just for fun for 5 runs. But like I haven't skied since I've been to Japan like a month and a half, 2 months ago. So, and I put my skis back on in a month or so. So yeah, I'm taking a break. Just mentally, it's good. It's good for me, and physically, I can work on stuff that's gonna help me when I come back on snow. And my motivation is always if you stop doing what you like for a little bit, get your head at doing other thing, being busy at other stuff outside of skiing, not talking about skiing. And then when I come back, then I'm full on it and super motivated. So taking a break is actually very good, and I should have realized that maybe earlier in my career where I was always go 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 go.
Yeah, I can agree with that because like mid-season, obviously, I feel like everybody's skiing starts to get sloppy like mid toward the end because they don't have much time to train, and then they just keep going from competition to competition, whether you're on like World Cup or RMF. Like every weekend, we had like a 3-day comp, sometimes 4 days, and so I just got a lot. And then I took like a week and a half off after juniors.
Yeah.
Then I came back to May camp, and I did my first day, and I was like, holy crap, like this is some of my best skiing in a really long time. So
Yeah, yeah.
I realized that taking breaks help. So I'm gonna experiment with that. I mean, a little bit at the beginning of the year, I guess, and then see.
Yeah, breaks are good because your body, and sometimes when we ski a lot, we get like some little bad habits coming back into our skiing because when you ski a lot, you're doing it so many times, so many repetition. But you take a little break, sometimes the bad habit go away. You have time to work on little stuff. Like for me right now, I'm working on speed, strength, and I know when I'm gonna hit the slope and whistler, I'll be strong, fit, and it should take me 1 or 2 days, and I'm gonna be ready to do top to bottoms or whatever as hard as I can. So, but as of right now, I'm taking some time off. Not no water ramp, no trampoline, just gym stuff, playing golf in the afternoon, hanging at home, just having good time with my girlfriend, with my family, and uh, and then I'm super out. I'm already excited to go skiing again. But yeah, that break, I know it's gonna feel good, and it's gonna help me throughout the season because I'm gonna feel like I had the time to do other stuff and not be in the mogul skiing world for at least a good month or 2 months. So
Mhm.
it's a good thing if you start doing that, taking some weeks off or sometime a month off after a season. It's the best thing, especially when you're gonna get older and after a few seasons. As of you right now, I think doing a lot of volume is it's still very very good because you want to do a lot to improve fast.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And you talked about your family and spending time with your family. And when Scotty was here, I asked him a couple of questions because I didn't know what to really ask you. I mean, I had questions, but I was trying to get as much info that I could to ask.
Yeah.
And he said that you're like a family man. You have nieces
Yeah.
and like, so how has your family helped you with your career or just, yeah, tell me about
Yeah. Well, my parents, they always been, they always support what I've done. I mean, obviously it's a lot of money at first when you're a kid, and you ski. And I was fortunate that my parents, they supported me. They never put pressure. They let me do it my own way, and that was great. And I know I have an older brother that used to ski moguls on the Quebec team, and a younger sister that skied also, but they both wanted to go to university, and they made they had a shorter mogul skiing career. Now they both have 2 kids, and I'm an uncle, so I spend time with my 2 older nieces. I go ski with them. Hopefully, they'll become mogul skier. Won't put pressure on them, but that would be awesome. And yeah, I enjoy being around my friends from home. My girlfriend. We've been together for 4 years, so I like to be surrounded with my family, and I like when they're at the bottom of the course because they've been there and the goods and the bad from the beginning, and they're there to support me. If I win, they're gonna be there and celebrate with me. But if I'm disappointed, they're gonna be with me, and they're gonna cheer me up and get me ready to compete for the week after. So I'm pretty lucky to be pretty close to a family like that. And I know you have a big family too, and it seemed from the outside, from what I'm seeing, that you guys are a big family, and everything it seems to be going very well on your end. So it's great to see.
Yeah. So it sounds like you like kids. You gonna have some kids of your own, Mick?
Yeah, hopefully. I would like it. Yeah, a girl or a boy, I don't mind. Healthy kid, and yeah, I'm at that age now, so yeah, we'll see.
Okay, I guess. I mean, I have one more question, which I close it off, which I
Yeah.
close the podcast off with everything. And what is your definition of happiness?
Oh, definition of happiness. I think it's everyone that I like being healthy, being happy. If the people around me, the people that I care a lot, are happy, I'm happy. Um, in life, I always prefer giving gifts to people than receiving gifts. So I think that's the definition of happiness. Everyone is healthy, no problem, no. Yeah, that's for me. That's happiness. Seeing my loved one happy, I'm happy. And this is my definition of happiness. Yeah, it's super simple, but the rest is just gravy. Skiing is awesome. It's fun, but I'm not gonna save a life winning a World Cup. I do it because I love competing, and I I love surpassing myself. But and I'm pretty happy when I do well. This is happiness, but definition of happiness for me is uh, people that I care, that stay healthy and are happy, and I'm happy.
That was a good one. That was a good one. I like that one.
Thank you.
That one, yeah. So I think that's going to close it off. I mean, I might have someone here that wants to say hi. Yeah, that is you.
I can't see right now because your cameras are to me. I just see myself, so I can see what you guys are doing. But thanks for having me. It's awesome. I'll see you guys in Whistler.
Yep.
I, I
It's Liz, by the way, Liz Lemley.
but I can see. I can even see. I can see anyone. But Liz is with you.
Yeah.
Hello, Liz. Uh,
All right.
Congrats on your season. It was awesome to see you ski.
Oh, and people, by the way, Liz Lemley is a World Cup skier. She won her last World Cup this past year in duels, and she's only 17. She just turned 17. She's pretty sick. So yeah,
Yeah.
people out there.
We wore the yellow bib at the same time. This was pretty awesome. Definitely the most exciting girl to watch, especially when you're skiing finals and she goes as you're watching from the top and she goes as big as the boys on the Kirk 7. It's pretty impressive. So I'm excited to see what you're gonna do next year. And also you, Eva, I'm very excited to see you, and hopefully you'll be in World Cup with us super soon.
Hopefully.
I'm sure of it.
Thank you. Don't want to jinx anything.
No.
All right. Well,
Right.
I think that's it. And thanks to everybody who is watching. Thank you, Mick. This is a super good time. And yeah, bye.